Hello everyone! How are y'all doing? My name's Raikar and in this video we will talk about the possible existing battle gimmicks in Talysmon. So, without further ado, let's start! So, to start the video, what are battle gimmicks in the context of monster taming franchises? You see, it all started in the 6th generation of Pokémon, and with the introduction of Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolutions are temporary forms that some Pokémon can enter during battle that makes them a lot stronger. When they were released, they were Pokémon's first ever battle gimmick. Until this day, they are the favorite battle gimmick among Pokémon fans. And they also initiated the trend of every new generation that came after to come with their own signature battle gimmick. The downside of Mega Evolution is that not all Pokémon can achieve it, only a selected few. And the reason for that being is that obviously it would be almost impossible to make new designs for each evolutionary line. But even with that downside, they are considered by many the most interesting battle gimmick to date. The next gimmick that we got was the Z moves. Super powerful moves that can only be used one time per battle. Well, except if you have enough high friendship with your Rotom decks. In that case, in regular gameplay you would be able to activate the Z Rotom power that would let you use a Z move a second time in battle. This gimmick had moves that could be used by any Pokemon as long as they had a regular move of the same typing. There were also special Z moves that could only be used by certain Pokemon, keeping that exclusivity aspect of the previous gimmick while also being available to all Pokemon. After the Z moves we had the Dynamax and Gigantamax forms, which consisted in a Pokemon getting 10 times bigger, having its HP doubled and having max move replacing all its regular moves. These forms only lasted 3 turns, and the difference between both is that while Dynamax only had the characteristics mentioned, Gigantamax Pokémon also changed their appearance upon entering this state. Then, in Generation 9, we got Terastallization. The Terastal forms consist in a Pokémon being completely covered in special crystals that are associated with one of the existing types, that boosts the power of the same type by 50%, with only 2 Pokémon that are associated with this gimmick having received special forms. All these were ways of Pokémon to make the whole franchise fresher. An interesting aspect of monster taming games and battle gimmicks is that Pokémon seems to be one of the only franchises that has them. I don't know about you, but I think that battle gimmicks are a great plus for any monster taming franchise to make it more interesting and appealing. So, with all that covered, let me now show you the battle gimmicks that I intend for Talysmon to have. And let's start with Battle Climax. So, do you remember when in the Pokémon Black and White games, when the gym leader only had one Pokémon left and the battle music sounds to reinforce that you were at the battle's climax? Well, this battle gimmick has the same goal. But instead of being activated when your adversary only has one Talysmon left, it activates when you or your opponent has only one Talysmon left. I'll explain. If you only have one Talysmon left, then your Talysmon will receive a boost to all their stats, meaning that there could actually be a good reason for a wielder to keep their ace for last, just like we see some Pokemon trainers do in the Pokemon games and anime. And if it's your adversary who only has one Talysmon left, then their Talysmon is the one receiving the buff, with both wielders' Talysmon being able to have this buff if they are both their wielder's final Talysmon. And now for Talysmon's most fascinating battle gimmick, we have the Overdrive forms. The Overdrive forms are temporary forms where a Talysmon's energetic abilities go completely overdrive. This gimmick is a bit similar to Mega Evolution and Terastallization for both changing the appearance of the creature in question, while also boosting their moves of certain energies. Like it happens with Pokemon Mega Evolutions, doing designs for every Talysmon Overdrive form would be pretty unrealistic. So, the ones that would have actual Overdrive forms would be of course the starter's final evolutions, Pingluk's evolutionary line, and also a selected few. But creating a common visual effect to showcase this rise in power in the form of a glowing elemental aura corresponding to the Talysmon's energy is very doable. So basically what I mean is that every Talysmon is capable of going overdrive, but not all of them would have a new design while in this form. Even though for fiery energy talisman that have actual flames on their bodies, I would like to give them all blue flames while in this form, as probably is something easy to do, while also making use of the fact that blue fire is hotter than regular fire. Now for the final battle gimmick, we have the fused moves. These moves consist in the merge of two regular moves to form a single and more powerful than the sum of its parts combo move. And there would be two different forms of using them. Either in double battles, by having two different talismans using two compatible moves at the same time with a combo option to form a combo move. Yes, double battles will be a thing in the game. And the other way to do it is by having your singular talisman using two compatible moves at the same time to create a combo move by themselves. It's important to keep in mind that even though fused moves are more powerful than regular ones, they also cost a lot more stamina to use, meaning that yes, there's a reason for not using them all the time and actually calculating when's the best time to use them. By the way, as you just heard now, I mentioned the use of stamina, and that's because Talysmon games would work with the stamina system instead of a PowerPoint one, like Pokémon does. The reason for this being is that I believe it reflects a lot better how real monster taming battles would be like in real life, with the creatures getting tired middle battle, and of course it is crucial for the fused moves to not being overpowered. I was already considering using a stamina system before I even came up with the fused moves concept, and now it is an absolute must for the project. I believe the community will adore this gimmick, as creative strategies is something that we see happening a lot on the Pokémon anime, but are never quite possible to replicate on the games, with the only exception being the water, fire and grass pledges that can be used to form new field conditions, like adding a rainbow or making the floor looking like a Mars, depending on the combination used, while the anime has a lot of them, mainly being used by Ash and his Pokémon, and by some other Pokémon trainers on contests to impress the jury. Some examples of moves being used in creative ways in the anime to perform combos include Focus Ball, a shadow ball that was launched at a higher speed and force due to it having been punched by a Munchlax using Focus Punch. Super Flare Blitz, a fire blitz that had its firepower boosted by the fire of the fire spin of another Pokémon. Sky Pack Attack, a combo of a Pokémon using Sky Attack while having another one riding on it using Pack, resulting in them hitting their target with the full force of both moves at the same time. And the classic most used combo on the Diamond and Pearl series, the Icy Aqua Jet, a move that consists in taking advantage of an incoming ice attack, like Ice Beam or Icy Wind, to use Aqua Jet, resulting in the Aqua Jet freezing and working like a frozen missile against the sender of the ice move. The last one works a bit differently, as it consists in taking advantage of an adversary's move, a thing that I'm afraid could be too hard to program, but if not, that's something that I would love to make come true as well. Some examples of fused moves that would exist is using Fire Breath with Frost Breath to make Fire Frost Breath, a dual energy move that would hit for super effective all energies that the original two moves deal super effective damage against. And also two different energetic moves that fuse to make a different energy move, like I showed on the example given previously in the video, of a fiery energy move and a earth energy move combining to create a magmatic energy one. And that's it for the project's Battle Gimmicks, at least for now. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment if there's any feedback that you would like to give. And if you liked my content, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel grow a lot. Share this video with a friend if you know any that would be interested in this type of content. And that's all. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!